Welcome back to Fantasy Dad Duo, where I'm doubling my bathroom time this year, not because I have tummy problems, but because it's the only room in the house my family can't find me. I'm Jack Banks. Jeff, how you doing tonight?
I think I'm at the exact same point. Oh, it's the only room in the house that my family can't find me. That is so perfectly true. Except what happens when you're trying to go there and hide and your wife is already in the tub with all the candles around because she planned it before you did. You know? Like it kind of when you're both trying to think of doing the same thing. We're just trying to go in there to take a shit. They're trying to go in there to actually have like a nice little aura maker. You know what I'm saying?
I have fantasy research to do, Jeff. I need privacy. I
Bathroom's the
need my
best place to do
bathroom
it.
time.
Bathroom's the best place to do it. Although I will say, when you're in a house and there's like 16 of you in the house together for a weekend, there is no bathroom time that's being had in that house.
Are we bringing that up, Jeff?
Yes, this weekend was mate. This weekend was amazing. I loved it. I wouldn't have traded anything for the world. The kids were great. All of our friends, their significant others, everybody was great. I can't wait till we do it again.
I thought you were going to bring up my wife walking in on you in the bathroom.
No, I was not going to plan on doing that. Actually, that didn't even cross my mind. But yes,
That's good content.
my counterpart's wife walked in on me mid turd. It was absolutely diabolical. Before she got to the door, I was like, "The trash in here's already been checked." And then she opened the door, and I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, it was a great weekend. It's nice to like get all the kids from the group together. I don't know if we've done that yet, and
I think it's the first time, actually. That's
yeah, it was just good. I mean, it's like the kids were playing, they were getting comfortable with everybody there, and first of many, I hope, because it was a good time.
I agree. I wouldn't change stuff like that. That's the dad story of the day today. That's the kind of stuff that you would never change. You would never think of changing it. It's great. Can't get enough of it. Want more of it. Somebody's got to get on Jay to plan the next one because God knows the rest of us are all going to say we want to, and then he's going to have to come in clutch again.
Hell yeah! I mean, we're gonna be going to his wedding next year, so that's
That is true.
locked in. I mean, I don't know if
That is
he's having
true.
kids at that wedding, but we're definitely having a big shindig for that one too. So
That
that'll
is
be
going to
good.
be a big shindig. That is going to be big. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to get him in trouble.
Hell yeah! Do we have a bachelor party planned for him?
Yeah, it's the
Oh, it's
cruise.
the cruise. We're going on a cruise. Yeah, hell yeah, that's gonna be cool. All right, so my brain's working. We were talking about sleep regressions right before this
Yeah,
episode, and that's where we are. So let's get into this episode. We're going to be breaking down our main league draft that happened this past weekend. You feeling good about your roster, Jeff?
I what I feel good about it. We'll talk of it was one of the things that we planned on talking about in a little bit, but the injuries are it's one of those things that just adds up to your team. And it can kill your team throughout the year. Normally it happens about midway towards the end of the season, but this year it's starting fucking early. They're not
Yeah.
there is no breaks on the injuries this year, but again, we'll pause that. We'll bring it up again later. Um those droids will do fine. We'll put that on the bench. We'll bring that one up again later because it's been on my mind and I've been thinking about it. I I'll say this. My draft, I drafted way too many running backs.
Usually not a bad idea.
But but with the heavy hitter running backs that I have between Jeanty, Taylor, and Skattebo, somebody's getting hurt and is going to be missing a few games in the first 7 weeks of football, 7 weeks of NFL football. Um, so I'm not upset that I drafted Price or White. I mean, it's you know me. White
Well,
was one
let's
of my guys. Price is the new one of my guys. I gotta get all my guys, and I'm not gonna not draft who I want. So if I end up drafting too many, and if I'm being completely honest, going into the draft, I was like, we got two flexes, I'll be all right. And then it hit me in like round 6. I was like, fuck, we only have one flex in this league now.
yeah, it's a funky league because we have 4 starting wide receivers and then 2 running backs and 1 flex. So the vast majority of our league starts a running back in that flex. But yeah, if you end up having 4 good running backs, you're kind of screwed. So let's talk about your first round. You picked Jeanty and John Taylor at 6 and
6 and
7.
7.
How are you feeling about that Jeanty ankle sprain? I know that they haven't released the timeline yet. Would you still have taken him with one of those first 2 picks, you think? Or does that ambiguity kind of skeeve you out?
I probably wouldn't have taken him. But we're in August. I don't know why I got so quiet there. I was trying to find God for a minute. We're an August drafting crew, and we've always been an August drafting crew. So you have to assume that when even in the midst of the draft, while you guys are sitting down, talking shit, doing your thing, making your buddies sit in a cage for 2.5 hours, I think you liked it.
Yeah, that was our last place punishment. We put our last place person in a dog crate for the entirety of the draft for like 2.5 hours, and Jamie was like living the dream. He had a pillow in there.
He was in his in his prime,
glory.
There you go. He was in his glory. He was talking shit. He was making funnies. It was awesome.
Yeah, he should draft in a cage more often because he actually had a pretty
he did. His
draft.
team is quite nice. But yeah, so would I have taken Jeanty at 6? No, definitely not. If he had been there, I mean, how far is an ankle sprain that like they're saying isn't going to be too serious, going to make somebody drop? Someone of his caliber, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd round, maybe 4th.
I have a draft tomorrow where I have the 10th overall selection, and I think I'm still planning on taking GT
in the first at 10.
Yeah, 10 or 11 because it's a 10-man league. It's that turn. I think I'm still going to take him and Omarion unless somebody great drops, but I don't know how scared I am. I think they're saying worst case scenario he's going to miss like 6 weeks, and when he heard it, he'll like the worst case scenario is he'll be back like week 4. So we'll see. But I still think he's got superstar upside, and Mike Washington is still pretty cheap, so I might just grab him in a later round. This is my big money league, the one I won last year. So I think I'm still going to take Jeanty and probably Omarion in that league, but I might take James Cook instead, and we'll see if anybody great drops. But my plan I think is still Jeanty and Omarion.
Yeah, so my plan all along had been Jeanty, and if I had known he was hurt, I probably would have shied away and I would have snagged Omarion from you.
Well,
did you end up getting him?
That didn't happen. I did end up getting him.
Okay, so if he had gotten hurt, I probably would have gone Omarion. The whole taking Jonathan Taylor was like there's a couple of guys. I mean, there's only 8 of us in the league, but there was 2 guys specifically that were like, we were a little shocked. Brian and Sean were like, that was you taking Jonathan Taylor at 7 was a little bit of a shock to both of us. And I was like, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It was a little bit of a shock to me as well, because I thought Chase or JSN was dropping, and I got fed a bowl of shit and ate it like it was fucking porridge. Like Sean fed me shit. He fooled me a little bit. I thought he was going him wanting to take Puka thing. I didn't think he was gonna. I thought he was leaning more Gibbs. I truly did, and I thought he was leaning more Gibbs specifically for the reason that he wanted to piss you off, and he wanted to see what would. Here's the thing: we have to. I want people to stop being nice to each other in these drafts. I just want to have one draft where everybody channels their inner Brian and just says, fuck what everybody else does. Fuck what everybody else thinks. I'm going to take at least 2 people in those first 2 rounds that I know somebody else is going to snag.
You know, I think we do that sometimes. But this draft, I think it fell the way a lot of people thought it would. I did think you were going to take Jeanty and Omarion, and you made that game time decision to take John Taylor, and you drafted him at 7. His current ADP is 7 overall. So you got good value. I mean, he's right where he was supposed to go. He went
I'm
to
not
you.
upset. I won't say I'm upset about it. Like, I don't want. I by no means do I want people to think that I'm saying this is not who I wanted at number 7. He's a great running back. He's just one of the guys that I've had in the past that I know is injury prone. So I get a little nervous when I'm, and that probably is one of the reasons why I decided to not pull my punches when I was going after running backs. It makes me a little bit nervous to have somebody that has that. It's like a patch, and they wear it proudly because they're great. The CMCs, the John Taylors, they're great running backs. They play very well. They're always going to be top 10, always, always, always. But they wear that patch proudly. Will get injured.
He's only played 17 games in his career twice. Of his 6-year career, he's been under 12 games twice, and then he's had 13 twice. So it's not like he misses a ton of games usually, but yeah, he misses a couple games almost every year, and when he's playing, you could pretty much write him in for a touchdown a game and 90 yards every single game. And then he's a better receiver than people give him credit for. So, last year he caught 46 balls. So that's elite. I mean, that's elite production. So when he's on the field, you're getting a top 5 running back. You're just betting on him being on.
He's a bruiser.
Yeah.
So he's going to take people out. And if he's going down, he's not going down by himself. So, I mean, he's fun to watch too. So I've had him before. I'm one of those guys that I'm like, oh, I don't want to repeat myself. Let's try to go in a different direction. And then I ended up with fucking my first 4 picks were guys that I've had in the last 4 years. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you stop being an idiot. Just fucking choose who you choose.
Talk to me about passing on Amon-Ra St. Brown and Puka.
It's going to be one of
Puka fell all the way to 8, which is he's been going top 4 in almost every draft that I saw.
Number 1, I think Puka fell to 8 because people were being nice.
You included.
Me included. I am not taking myself out of that equation. I can't because I was the one that made the choice to stick to that deal. But I never had Puka in my sights even from the start though. So when we start talking about it, and I'm like, I had first overall, and I traded. Even when I had first overall, there was only, but it was between one of 2 guys. It was either Gibbs or Bijan for me. I'm a running back guy. We've talked about it before. That's who's there. Gibbs went 3, which is crazy to me. Yeah, you lucky bitch. But besides that point, I never had Puka in my sights, and I'm not saying that he's not an amazing wide receiver. He is. He's great. Top 3, easy. And he's gonna be top 3 for the next 5 to 10 years if he can keep himself out of fucking rehab.
Well, let's talk about this real quick with Puka. Say Matt Stafford retires next year. Say they win the Super Bowl and he rides off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you drafting Puka? Because we're talking Ty Simpson, probably.
We are. That would be who we were. That would be who we
were talking about. Yeah,
we're talking about. Would be talking about future and past tense. I don't fucking know. I'm not a teacher. I'm just saying. That's exactly who we would be talking about. It would be Ty Simpson, and I mean, I would that change everybody's outlook on who he is? Let me ask you this. With what Puka has done in his career so far, if he has another 1,500 plus yards here, and then Stafford, the Go Dogs, rides off into the sunset after winning a Super Bowl this year, is it really, are we really going to stay that nervous about what could happen with Ty Simpson?
I'll be a little nervous. I'm not going to lie, because we saw what JJ McCarthy did to Justin Jefferson, and I'm in the minority here.
You're
I think
talking
Justin
about
Jefferson is a
you're
better wide
talking
receiver than Puka.
yes, and I mean he's got more ground beneath his feet. He's got more oomph under his belt. Like he's got the years on him as well. So he's been able to figure out how do you say he's been able to figure out the changes that he needed to make himself even more of an elite receiver than he already was. And he's had to go with different quarterbacks. A few different quarterbacks.
Yeah, Kirk,
And
Sam Darnold, JJ McCarthy. That's about, and then some backups in there, Josh Dobbs and stuff.
And he's gone over 1,000.
Oh
With
yeah,
every single one of them.
So yeah, I mean, we're talking dynasty a little bit. I'm not a big Puka guy. I've never been a big Puka guy. Puka with Matt Stafford though, top 2 wide receiver. All right, so I got Gibbs at number 3. That was probably the biggest no-brainer of the entire draft. I had him second behind Bijan. We talked about this by like this much.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have taken him number 1 just because I've had Gibbs in this league for 2 years now or 3 years now. And
I should have made Jay write it in blood that he was going to take Gibbs and not Bijan.
Wow, you bastard. So I grabbed him at 3rd overall, which was a deal. And then Omarion, I grabbed 7 spots ahead of ADP. I grabbed him at 19. I grabbed him ahead of names like CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson, Chase Brown.
He's got to be going ahead of ADP in every fucking league that he's in. That he's getting
steam. Yeah, he's getting steam. He's moving up that ADP board. I use like a aggregate ADP. So the most recent, he's probably higher. He's probably like 13 maybe if I had to guess.
In my 12 man work league, I took him at the turn. I took him at 13.
So I beat you by 1 spot. I took him at 12. Yeah, I just believe in him. I believe in the offense, even with Tyler Biadasz going down. I just believe in him because he could catch the ball too. And on top of that, Keaton Mitchell went down with an injury, so maybe he'll get a little bit more receiving work too.
I did see that.
After that, I grab Malik Neighbors as my wide receiver 1.
Who may not still. We still don't fucking know what's going on with him. He still might not be playing until week 10. This, like, oh man, when you make decisions like this, it doesn't anger me. It fucking baffles me because you're willing to take that. I won't take the risk until we're in like that 4th, 5th, or 6th round range, and then in the 3rd fucking round, you take the risk of a life. I mean, I'm not going to call it the lifetime because he's a freak of fucking nature. He's in the NFL. The guy's a maniac. He could be back week 1, week 2, week 3 for all we fucking know. We don't actually know. No doctors are talking about exactly what's going on with his diagnosis. So we're kind of everybody will say we're not left in the dark. We know what's going on. We've seen this kind of injury before. That's fine. This kind of injury with somebody like him, he's a fucking athlete among athletes, man. It could be 6 less months for him. He could be like, what's his face in the Celtics that comes back from a fucking ACL faster than anyone's ever seen. So and then take him to the playoffs. You never fucking know.
I took the risk because if he had no injury, he'd probably be a top 10 pick.
He wasn't last year. I got him 3rd last year.
Last year,
before he died,
you snagged him at. That's his rookie year. Okay, all right. You snagged him in the 3rd round, so you snagged him right about where he went this draft. Or I grabbed him in the 4th, so I got a round discount. To me, his talent is top tier. I'll put him right up there with some of those best guys. I'll put him right below Justin Jefferson. I'll put him.
Bummer that we only got to see him with like half a game with Dart too.
Yeah, Dart's gonna air it out too. And here's the bonus because Dart gets hurt sometimes too. Jameis Winston is the backup in New York. Jameis Winston is like the most fun fantasy quarterback you could possibly ask for. He'll throw for 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, and 5,000 yards. So give me Neighbors. I hope he's healthy week 1, but
while looking at colors.
yeah, I always healthy week 1, but if he's healthy week 4, it's probably still worth the cost.
I mean, yes, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Are you at all worried about what could happen with Malachi Fields and Darnell Mooney?
Am I worried about like them beating him out?
Isaiah Likely.
I'm not worried at all about anyone
Theo.
taking touches. No one on that team scares
Nobody?
me even a little in terms of target volume. If Malik Neighbors is healthy, he's getting 150 targets.
I don't think. Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about any of them either, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, and it's like if Malachi Fields turns out to be an absolute stud, which he might, those targets are not coming from Malik Neighbors. Those targets are coming from the Isaiah Likely's, the OBJs, the Darnell Mooney's.
Yeah, the Darnell Mooney's, fucking everybody. They'll even take some from Skattebo and give him to him if he's a dog, so they can just run Skattebo. Yeah, I hope it pans out. I just get worried because of the injuries that he's coming back from. So and I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
That's fair. So after that, I grabbed Brock Bowers 2 picks later. If I had a time machine, well, it worked out for me, but in the moment, I had like a momentary panic because I was like, oh, I should have drafted Bowers first and then Neighbors after that. Because I would have been very upset if Brock Bowers made it past me. And there was that 1 pick in between my 2 picks. But anyways, I got Brock Bowers at a 12 pick discount. I got him 30th overall. His ADP is 18. I picked him above Trey McBride. So I heard a saying the other day that was like, you don't know what your rankings are until you're drafting. So apparently I have Brock Bowers ahead of Trey McBride. Sue me, right? And
Is this around the same time that I took Harold Fannin?
You took Harold Fannin a full 3 rounds later.
3. So it was 7, 8?
4, 5, 6. Oh, a full 2 rounds later. So you picked him in 6. Yeah. Talk to me about that Harold Fannin pick. You picked him over Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland.
All right, so on my wide receiver list. Holy fuck, what are we doing? On my tight end list, when we were talking about them, when we had that, I don't even know what episode that was. 7, 8.
That was early.
When we were doing that, I had him sitting directly behind those 2 at 5 overall for just tight end 5, TE5, right there. Put a fucking close to 1,000 yards, close to 10 touchdowns. Put a fucking stamp on it, call it a day. During this draft, I don't know who it was, but when we got into the round where I took throw it to Harold Fannin, somebody said he needs a wide receiver, but he's probably going to take another fucking running back. So I was
Not
like,
me.
I think it might have been Jay, actually, if I'm being honest with you. It might, but every single time someone's talking shit, I think I just hear Jay's voice immediately anyways, and I'm like, fuck you, Jay. I'm doing this. So I heard somebody say, he needs to take a wide receiver, but he's probably going to take a running back. So in the back of my mind, I was like, fuck it. I'm going tight end, Harold Fannin.
If Harold Fannin pays off, so I have 2 comments on this pick. If he pays off, it's a good pick because he's right. You picked him right above Colston Loveland and right above Tyler Warren, who went Colston Loveland went 4 picks later and Warren went 5 picks later. So if he outperforms those, obviously the value's good. You probably could have gotten him in that maybe 8th round, but you only had 2 picks in the 7th. You wanted to grab Matt Stafford and Davante Adams, that stack. In the 8th round, you grabbed Ja'Jarian Price, which was good value. So it might have been your last opportunity to get him. assuming you wanted those 3 guys that you ended up with in the next 2 rounds, I probably would have waited and tried to get him a little bit later. But you ended up grabbing value with the next couple rounds. So get your guys, get the guys you want. If you waited, you very well could have missed. So it's not terrible.
It could have gone in a way different direction. And I kind of, one of my biggest issues, and we've talked about this before, I second guess and I start to spiral immediately after I second guess. And it happens like that. And it takes nothing for me to do it. So in the first round, I'm sitting there I'm like, you know what? 6th pick, Jeanty. Fucking hands down. Don't care. We're going Ashton. Chase didn't fall. JSN didn't fall. There was rumors, which was just me eating more shit, that Josh Allen would fall. And I was like, oh, fuck, man. Like, one of these 3 guys, they fall. Who am I going to take? What am I going to do? Holy fuck, there's all this other shit. Then they don't fall, and I'm like, fuck, I know who I'm taking at 6. I don't know who I'm taking at 7. Is this going to be a spiral? Am I going to fucking go downhill? Where are we going from here? Is this going to be another season where I have to do the fucking the punishment at the end of the year? Like, how are we going to do? I don't want to have to add anything back to that Beetle Dick sign. I don't really know what's going on here. This was all going on in my head in the 7th pick of the draft. So I was like, fuck. And then by the time we got to the 6th round, I was like, you know what? I need to mellow myself out a little bit. I know I didn't have a fucking pick in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round. And then, if I'm also being honest, when you were like, if your guy, the guy being Jeremiah Love, if he's there in the 4th, so when we get to you, I'll make this trade. Then when you said, your guy's not there, fuck you, I wanted to be like, Jack, I'll throw this computer at you.
Hey, that was the deal, Jeff. I said to you, if Jeremiah Love is there, I'll make the trade. He went. The deal is off.
A deal is a deal is a deal. I get it. You stick to the words that the deal was made by. I understand that. But in the back of my brain that was still in the midst of spiraling at that point, because I hadn't had a pick since 7th overall, I was ready to fucking start throwing shit at everybody except Jamie. He was covered by the cage that he was in. But I settled myself down. I took my Harold Fannin. And then, like you said, in the next couple of rounds, in the next like 5 rounds that we had, I mean, we had way more than 5 rounds, but in the next 5 rounds of our draft, after that Harold Fannin pick, I started settling down and I started making picks that I thought were actually going to fill out my team and make it much more worthy of winning more than just a few weeks this year.
So you filled out your roster. You ended your wide receiver 4 with Carnell Tate in the 10th round. You drafted him. So I saw this as like a clear wide receiver tier break. So you grabbed in that round, you grabbed Carnell Tate. I grabbed Marvin Harrison Jr. I saw that as like a tier break. So I was anti Marvin Harrison. You know this. Yeah. But I was like, okay, the value is good. I'm going to grab him because I don't see many other good wide receivers on the board. Guys like, after we drafted those 2, Cortland Sutton, Wan'Dale Robinson, let's see, DK Metcalf. Let's see, Chris Godwin.
DK Metcalf was like the latest wide receiver 1 on his respective team to go, wasn't he?
Yeah,
that's like 10th, 11th round. That's late. That's real late.
Yeah, he went in the 12th round, which is late. After last year, I think a lot of people are out on DK, including me.
What do you get? 700 yards, like 8 touchdowns, something like that?
I'll have to check tape, but he had a couple boom games, so that buoyed his stats. He had 850 yards and 6 touchdowns, which is just not good. I mean,
way less touchdowns than I thought he had.
Yeah, and he had a game in there where
he was out. He was out for 2 games because he punched that fan in the face, right?
Yeah, he still played 15. Yeah.
You got me over here itching in my seat. Now I'm turning my fucking hat around because he still played 15. You don't know if he was going to get 4 touchdowns in those last 2 games. He might have.
He might have, but after watching him play all year, I don't think so. Aaron Rodgers just wasn't throwing downfield, and
Aaron Rodgers
wasn't
throwing.
Best.
He wasn't throwing.
He was throwing ball to Kenny Gainwell.
Fuck Kenny Gainwell, dude. And fuck you for taking Kenny Gainwell. Jeff,
Hey,
this is what you should do. I think you should drop one of those retard picks that you did later on in the fucking draft and pick up Kenny Gainwell. I'm in the fucking shower reading my phone, trying to wash my stank ass, and then all of a sudden I get out of the shower and I'm like, this fucking prick. He just decides to say, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to take him. All right, Jack. No fourth-round
that's
trade, and you stole Kenny Gainwell? I don't know, man.
that's actually exactly how the text went. I went, Jeff, you should pick up Kenny Gainwell. He's a great piece to have on your bench. And then I texted right back, you know what, fuck you. I'm picking him up myself.
You know who I went and picked up after that? Oh, my God, I'm embarrassed to even fucking say it, but I fucking picked up Romeo Dobbs. Oh, my God, dude.
No, I love that. I love Romeo Dobbs this year.
I don't know if if there's a lot of mouths to feed on that team. That's what worries
There are, but he should be number 2. I mean, he really should be number 2 after AJ Brown. And AJ Brown gets hurt every year.
I mean, it's true, but he's still gonna have. There's gonna be like no target share when he's playing.
Yeah, that's probably true. But they did pay Romeo Dobbs like $80 million, which is a lot of money. So they have some faith in him. Romeo Dobbs is 6'2". I thought he was like this miniature slot guy, and I guess I just don't know ball because he's
yeah. You know who holy fuck! I compared him to somebody on the Packers. When I think it was like the Packers literally picked him up to like directly replace him. Who was the
Randall Cobb?
Thank you. I was like, that's who they picked him up to replace Cobb. And a buddy of mine that I work with was like, dude, he's bigger than Cobb. And I was like, no fucking way. No, I've done it twice. I've done it twice with 2 different people now. It's terrible. Terrible.
They really did trick us though, because they played him a lot in the slot. And he can play slot. He plays like big slot, but he could play outside too. He's just a good player. So I actually like him as like a bench play, and Drake May is going to air that ball out. So he'll get his some weeks. I mean, Kayshon Boutte was startable some weeks last year.
He might even be startable this year. Didn't he just get traded too?
Yeah, he might be startable this year. The last thing I want to talk about before we end this episode and jump right into the next one though is my big reach of the draft. I drafted DeJon Stribling probably 8 rounds ahead of current ADP. I'm just a believer. I watched
when I was like Stribling. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
At the very beginning of the draft, I'm looking over the sheet that you, by the way, what a tailored sheet to Jeff you made. Holy shit. Every single fucking position I was looking at it, I was like, man, I ain't got to go far down. My boy knows me very well.
I got you. We've been talking a lot of football. I know you.
That's fuck yeah, man. But when I was looking at your sheet, because I was like, let me just take a little gander over here at Jack's, because I know Jack likes that. I don't know if we can figure it out during the podcast. I mean, this is podcast 19. 19.
Yeah.
So if we're if we haven't talked about it enough in these episodes, Jack has a lot going on in his head when it's about fantasy football. He has a love. I don't know why I closed my eyes there. Jack has a love for fantasy football that is beyond what most other people do for fantasy football. The guy wins a lot. So when you're looking at his draft day fucking set list is what I'm going to call it, there's a lot of scribbles on there, and you can't always read a lot of the shit that's going on. Sometimes there might be some potato people on there. You never really know. But that day when I saw Stribling's name on there, I said, Jack, what? And you were like, yeah, shut the fuck up, Jeff. And I was like, all right, I'll shut the fuck up. And then you drafted him. I was like, this motherfucker thought I was going to go for him. He wasn't even on my radar.
I said, Jeff, stop looking at my sheet. Stop looking at my sheet. I had 2 names written down with my pen, and everything else was typed, and that was one of the names. Come on, I can't let you look at it. So I'm just a Stribling believer. He just looked so good. I honestly think that by week 4 or 5, he might be like a wide receiver 1 this year. I really believe it. I'm drafting him in every draft.
The ESPN app. Now that I'm fucking saying it, let me check it. The ESPN app. I was looking at it. God, it had to be like yesterday. It might have been. I might be confusing my morning this morning with yesterday's morning, but it had him moving up. Let's check this shit out.
I can
Players that
tell
had-
you, I'm in my big while you look that up. In my
Dude,
big
he's
money
up
league,
2 spots.
to what?
I mean, his roster percentage went up by like 20%.
Okay. So in my big money league, I'm drafting him if he's there. My plan is to draft him in the 8th round. So I'm going to take him at 81. That's my plan. And I think his current ADP is 139. So
When it says
I draft.
he's up +2, does that mean he's up 2 points a week, or does that just mean he's up 2 spots in where they'd be placing him?
I don't know what you're looking at. Maybe roster percentage.
He jumped fucking 20% though. I was just looking at this last week.
Yeah. Maybe ranking. I drafted him 92 overall in this draft. I'm going to draft him at 81 overall in my draft tomorrow if he's there. He's been shooting up boards, but I'm in. So I'm drafting him high.
Is this one of those things? And this is strictly because I was trying to figure out whether or not ESPN had it on there as well. Is he just jumping up because there's been a lot of talk about his name everywhere right now? We're not the only podcast that's talking about him.
He's been jumping up because he has looked. So he's played like 10 minutes of game time in the preseason. He's gotten 20 targets, which is insanity. And he's caught like 18 of them. Mike Evans is dealing with injuries. Debo is coming out of free agency. Christian McCaffrey has tightness. George Kittle's coming off IR. So people are saying, hey, wait a second. This guy might actually get like 100+ targets this year. And he just looks good. I mean, it's like you don't want to take too much. You don't want to read too much into the preseason, but just watching that guy play, I'm like, damn, he's a good football player.
Sometimes it's almost to the point of where it seems like you could listen to a podcast like Pardon My Take. PMT could come out and they could just say, oh man, fucking Randall Cobb's coming back to the goddamn NFL. And then all of a sudden his draft stock is going through the fucking roof because a big name. I mean, that is like so far-fetched to the point of where like it's not even a joke that I should make, but like, in better, they could have dropped like Tony Pollard's name and he could have jumped up 10 draft spots, ADP like that, just because a very popular podcast and crew that knows what the fuck they're talking about dropped his name once or twice in a podcast that they did that day, and they just decided to fucking see what would happen.
Here's what I'll say.
I do feel like that happens.
It happened. So Omar Cooper Jr. right now on the Jets' first-round pick is getting buried in drafts right now. Nobody's taking him. They paid up to get him. I know it's the Jets, but he's a first-round talent, all that good stuff. He's getting buried because he's not having a good camp. He's not having a good preseason. If Omar Cooper Jr. would have come out I think they play tomorrow, in tomorrow's game, and get 10 catches for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, and on the same day Garrett Wilson goes down with like an ankle injury, Omar Cooper Jr. would shoot into the like 7th round.
Yeah,
maybe higher. So that, that's what's happening to DeJon Stribling. People are seeing him play well, and they're seeing the opportunity and being like, holy cow, we need to get in now. I'm one of those guys, but I just believe in the talent. And if Omar Cooper Jr. did it, would I be that high in? No, I'd probably still take Stribling unless he looked great. I don't know. So I'm an eye test guy. He looks good.
I fell for one of them. I fell for Denzel Boston. So
he looks good too.
What are you gonna do? His stock rose, dude, and his stock didn't rise higher than Casey Concepcion's. So he was still there. I probably could have fucking snagged him as well, and I probably should have snagged him over Denzel. But something, I don't know, man. I've watched him. I've seen some of the tape. I watched him during the preseason game. He's a throwaway for me, but I like him. So fuck it.
All right. So that's it for this episode. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you guys later.